Hey guys, Lester and welcome to another Fortnite video here on the channel. I thought I would do something different today by actually ranking all the past Fortnite POIs, or at least the named ones, in order from the best to the worst in terms of overall story, the kind of stuff you could get there, and how I overall felt about how the place looked. So before you guys say anything, yes, other people have done this already on YouTube. I am not the first person to do this, nor am I the last person to do this. So yeah, just get that out of the way before anyone starts complaining. But yes, I have played Fortnite, for those who don't know, all the way since Chapter 1, Season 4. So I know every single location in Fortnite. I have been to every single location in Fortnite, and I have good and bad memories of each one's depending on how they were. So let's get right into this. If you guys have been enjoying the Fortnite content on the channel, I know this isn't technically Fortnite content, quote unquote, but it is at the same time. Smash the like button to show your support. Maybe consider subscribing if you are new, because we are almost at 10,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can hit that goal, and let's hop right into this. So the first thing I'm going to rank is actually Wailing Woods, because I never really cared about this location, so I'm just going to put it as meh. And the only reason why is because it never really changed. It was nothing but a pack of woods, and it had like the watchtower in the middle, and that was pretty much it. So right now I'm just kind of, or not Wailing Woods, sorry, I didn't mean to do Wailing. I meant to do Lonely Lodge, jeez. That's what I meant. Wailing Woods is kind of like the upgraded version of that. So now that I set what the worst thing is in my opinion, I want to set one of the best locations in my opinion. So let me see if I can find it really quickly. Where are we? Okay, so I'm going to pick Neo Tilted. And the reason why I'm picking Neo Tilted is I'm actually going to combine the storyline of Neo Tilted with Ye Old Tilted, quote unquote. I know they're technically two separate time frames, but the story of Fortnite with Neo Tilted went into that, because what happened was the generators kind of broke and they no longer could power Neo Tilted. So Neo Tilted had to go back in time into this like old-fashioned, Western style where you couldn't build, and it was really fun. So I'm combining that with Neo Tilted's story just because that kind of makes sense. That's why I'm putting it at Godly. Mega Mall, I'm just going to put it okay because I only dropped here a few times, and every time I did, I would always die to one tryhard or the other. Of course, Mega Mall is the same time zone as Neo Tilted because it involved the whole futuristic style of Season 9 or Season 10. And from what I recall, there were sometimes a few glitches with Mega Mall. Sometimes like some structures wouldn't break properly, or they were like invincible and stuff. I'm not entirely sure if I remember correctly, but I remember there were issues with it. So I'm going to put it towards, I'll put it actually towards great, just because it was aesthetically pleasing. Next up, we have Fatal Fields. I'm just going to put Fatal Fields at okay. Same with, where is the other one? Anarchy Acres. Fatal Fields and Anarchy Acres kind of do the same for me. Same with Frenzy Farm. All the farm locations I'm not a big fan of. They do change over time slightly, but the only time the farms became interesting is whenever that whole no sweat insurance happened during Chapter 2. I forget Chapter 2 if it was Season 2 or 3 that it started. But the whole no sweat insurance, which kind of was a way to protect the farms, because they always get destroyed in Fortnite. They always get replaced. They always get rifted away. So yeah, I'm putting them in the okay locations because while a lot of people go there and a lot of people like the farms, I personally have never been a fan of them. Greasy Grove. Greasy Grove is an interesting one that I'm going to actually put at great, because Greasy Grove is one of those like suburban town locations similar to Holly Hedges, what Holly Hedges sort of is like now at this point, which if I can find Holly, I'll just shove it there too. I kind of like the suburban town locations. However, I hate Salty Springs because it's too small. But Holly and Greasy sort of are big enough that it makes sense. And Greasy Grove also had this sort of taco party that happened as well, which I really liked down the line. And that was really fun. Flush Factory. Now, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to put Flush Factory at amazing. The reason why I'm putting Flush Factory at amazing is because Flush Factory is actually a really fun location. I always drop that in Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, because it is in Chapter 2 now in Season 5. It's sort of like a small location you can drop. Not a lot of people drop there. If someone does drop there, if you can beat them, you can get all the loot to the location, and it's really fun. I think this is the swamp. It's kind of hard because I didn't make this this tier maker thing. I downloaded this particular one. So that is why some of the locations are very hard to spot, and this is one of them. But I think this is the swamp. I forget what it was called, but I'm gonna put it at eh. And the only reason why is because I remember always landing there, and before the movie stuff was added, it was very bland and it was very slow because you were stuck in the swamp water and you couldn't move around much. Of course, the prison is kind of counted as that too, which was really fun. But I'm gonna put it at eh just because I didn't really care for it. Haunted Hills. Haunted Hills, I'm actually going to put at amazing simply because, again, it was a location that maybe not a lot of people landed there. However, it was really fun and I did enjoy it a lot. I liked Haunted Hills because of its, it didn't have a lot of loot, but it sort of had that aspect of if you eliminate someone, you get the whole place to yourself and it's just a fun place to live at. Same with Junk Junction. Junk Junction, I'm actually going to put it godly, and here is why. While it is as amazing as Haunted Hills, it is in the corner of the map where, sure, if the bus's like trajectory went there at the beginning or end of its like line, a lot of people would go there. It was still super fun because it was, you know, Haunted Hill, or not Haunted Hills, it was next to Haunted Hills. But if you got no one in either of these locations, you could kind of hop from one to the other and just loot the whole place. And I always like dropping a Junk Junction because, again, that's has a similar feeling as to Flush Factory, where it's its own thing in the corner, but I'm more fond of Junk Junction because of its metal deposits and whatnot. Tilted Towers. Tilted Towers I'm going to put at great because Tilted Towers is one of the centerpieces of Fortnite's original map. It is also sort of in Chapter 2 now, but that's a different location entirely. Tilted Towers is, of course, the place that every tryhard would drop. It's the kind of place that you would drop at if you just wanted a quick game and didn't want to worry about too much. And it was kind of an all-arounder. Lucky Landing. Lucky Landing I'm also going to put at great because while I did drop here more than Tilted, it never updated. It was kind of its own little section of the map. It had to do with a lot of the Chinese skins that came out around the different time periods. But of course, it is only a Chapter 1 thing, so anything that happened in Chapter 2 I wouldn't count towards Lucky Landing. It was a fun place to land, but it, of course, didn't change or anything. Dusty Depot. Dusty Depot I'm going to put at amazing because Dusty Depot updated over time. It turned into Dusty Divot. Now, I'm saying Dusty Depot, but Dusty Depot and Dusty Divot are two different locations. I'm going to count them as the same, though, because one became the other, and they did evolve over time. They are really fun. I always love dropping at both of them. I like the story behind it because that was sort of the central point of the story, was like the whole secret investigation team of people that would always go there. You guys remember like the black cars that were always in Chapter 1 that would always drive around, sort of scuff up all the evidence of the meteorites and stuff. That was like their headquarters after it got destroyed by the meteor. And when Dusty Depot was just Dusty Depot, it was also still really fun to go there and just get the loot and stuff. Shifty Shafts. I'm going to put Shifty Shafts at okay. Because Shifty Shafts was this like sort of subtle, if you were just rotating from Tilted, you would go to Shifty Shafts. And if you were just there accidentally, you would always get destroyed by somebody. I don't know how or why. It would always happen. So that was Shifty Shafts. Pleasant Park. I'm going to put Pleasant Park at okay also. Because Pleasant Park, I actively despise Pleasant Park. It doesn't give the same feeling that Greasy or Holly give. It is like its own domain of suffering. I don't like Pleasant. Every time I go to Pleasant, even if I complete clear out Pleasant, I don't feel any accomplishment, whereas I would if I cleared out Tilted. Pleasant is just like the entire lobby has to go there for whatever reason because it's Pleasant. Risky Reels. Risky Reels I'm going to put at great because Risky Reels has updated throughout all the seasons. It's always lasted. It's always got changed. It's moved around the map at some points. It's its own theater. It has a lot of events there. It's really fun. As for loot, it's kind of meh, but if we're counting the Chapter 2 one, it has gotten a little better, and in Season 5, it has updated with the sand and the IO guards, and it's kind of fun in a way. It's weird. Snobby Shores. Snobby Shores, I'm going to put it okay. Snobby Shores, I've dropped at before. That was kind of the place you'd always go to if you didn't know where else to go. You would just be like, just go to Snobby. Snobby did update throughout the seasons. I think the Pirates took it over in Season 8 and stuff. It was kind of fun. I think it went into like a quarantine zone at some point. I forget. Snobby Shores was just put towards the edge of the map. It was right after, if you're going straight down, it went Flush Factory, or not Flush Factory. It went, where is it? Junk Junction, Haunted Hills, and then Snobby. And Snobby was kind of the, if you have time, loot it kind of thing. But it also would sometimes have tryhards there, and it was kind of meh. Paradise Palms. I'm going to put Paradise Palms at amazing. It was a big location. It sort of gave off the same feel that Sweaty does now, except it was more like off towards the side, but also it became sort of the new Tilted. From what I understand, a lot of people were to go there instead of Tilted. It was big. It was kind of city-like, but at the same time not. It felt like a vacation resort, actually, more or less. But it was really fun and unique, and it was in its own location. Lazy Links. I'm going to put Lazy Links also at amazing, simply because of the golf carts it had, the different style it had, because this literally became like, what was before this? Anarchy Acres turned into Lazy Links. Lazy Links literally became like a golf course. And to that in Fortnite, you'd be like, what? That doesn't make too much sense. It really didn't, but it was also fun, and it was just fun to be there. Loot Lake. Now, there's two Loot Lakes. There's Loot Lake before stuff happened, and then Loot Lake after. The Loot Lake before stuff happened, I'm going to put it because if you guys know what water was like before Chapter 2, you'll know my suffering. If Loot Lake didn't have an event going on in it where you could traverse the water, you either landed that middle island and just had to rift out, or you were just on the sidelines just like, I hate this water. Now, Loot Lake after things happened, I'm going to actually put it great because it became, its own thing. It became more elementally involved. I believe there was zero gravity there a lot. It was really fun. The center island when Kevin was there was super fun and stuff. It was just very fun. Next up is The Block. The Block, if you guys do not know, if you're a Chapter 2 person, you won't know about this, was a location that fans could submit mini-maps, so to speak, and they would add them as POI or named locations into the world of Fortnite, but they had to be in this block zone. However, it was never nerfed. So if they had like 100 chests in their build, they would allow it to be there. If there was thousands of ammo crates, they would allow that to be there. If it had like supply crates, if it was Borderlands themed, if it was a dome theme, they would allow anything to be in this place. And it was always right off of where Junk Junction was. It moved around a few times, but that was its primary location after a point. And it was really fun because it always changed. Every week, I think they tried to change it. Now, Polar Peak. I am going to also put it godly. Now let me explain. Polar Peak is where the Infinity Blade first spawned. When they first added it in Season 7, the Infinity Blade was the overpowered blade that one-shotted everything, gave you 400 health. You basically felt like Thanos before Thanos existed in Fortnite. It was so cool, and it has no reference to Marvel, so you can't hate on it for being Marvel, even though the name sounds similar. Polar Peak in general had this huge castle with a ton of loot in it. It had like a few side buildings also with loot. People would land here mainly to get the sword. I remember so many people were pickaxing each other to death because it took a while to pull the sword out of the ground. If you guys have played the heist modes, those safes that you open, and in Chapter 2 Season 5 now the gold safes it took about that long to pull the sword out of the ground because it was like Excalibur stuck into the ground, and you had to actually pull it out for it to be able to, work. So it was really fun, energetic, and it didn't feel like Tilted where it was just tryhards. It felt like just anyone would go there and have fun. Frosty Flight and Happy Hamlets, I'm going to actually both put at okay. Happy Hamlets is actually the old Misty. I didn't know this until recently, but I'm going to put Misty here as well for the same reason. These locations feel like they're extra to me. They feel like they were never really needed. Frosty Flights was where the planes would first spawn. Happy Hamlet and Misty Meadows is just literally this like holiday looking town. I feel like I've never been a fan of them. I know a lot of people love Misty. I don't care for Misty. Same reason as I didn't care for Happy Hamlet. I think I only dropped a Happy Hamlet maybe about 5 times, and that was because of quests. I never liked it. I would always avoid it, and also took over my Flush Factory, so I didn't like that place. Frosty Flights was a little bit better, but still felt the same extra. It was right next to Snobby. Snobby's way better than Frosty in my opinion. Frosty Flights. I just don't like these 3 locations. That's why they're here. Lazy Lagoon. Lazy Lagoon I'm gonna put at great. Only because it had the cool cannons you could fire. It had the boat. It did have the horrible water because again we're still in Chapter 1. But it had like a little pirate themed town. It was really different, and you had to play it differently depending on who would drop there. Now, Pressure Plant. Pressure Plant is different than Sunny Steps. Sunny Steps I'm going to put it at because I literally hated every ounce of my being there. If you guys ever watched my old gameplay, I despised going there because anytime a trier would go there, they would be able to land, grab a gun, and snipe you from across the area because it was literally high ground or no ground with Sunny Steps. Now, Pressure Plant, I'm going to count as after the volcano erupted and stuff, so I'm going to put it at great, simply because the story with Pressure Plant made it a whole lot more fun. You had the whole, if you jump down, you got like the gravity that shot you up, not gravity, but you got propelled up, similar to how Steamy Stacks is. It was really fun. They made the giant mech robot there to fight the giant dinosaur creature. It was really fun. I liked that. I also liked the lava aspect of it, and I liked how you could like walk up the entire mountain without needing to build, if I remember correctly. So that was fun. Okay, this location right here, I actually don't know what this is. I think this is the location with the giant chair, but I couldn't find it for the life of me. But I'm assuming it's the giant chair location, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you played Chapter 1. So I'm going to put this at okay, simply because it was a small looting place. It was kind of cute with the amount of loot you get there. It really only fed about one person worth, but it was fun. Another loot lake. I think this is loot lake after Kevin descended. I'm going to put it where I put my other loot lakes, which are like right here. So I'm going to just put it right there for the exact same reason. It could be an amazing, but I don't want to, you know, be off with the other loot lakes. So it's kind of a similar feel. Gotham City. Gotham City is what Tilted became for the Batman themed event. I'm going to put Gotham City at okay, simply because I didn't drop there much, and when I did, it was so dark, it was so confusing, you never got to even look around at the cool places because everyone just killed you because they were treating it still like Tilted. Nothing helped you there. Moisty Palms. This was whenever Moisty Myers and, that's what it was called, Moisty Myers. This is when Moisty Myers combined with Paradise Palms. I'm going to put this at great, simply because it still had the aspects of Paradise Palms, but it became more like Moisty, again with the water and stuff, and that was kind of ooh to me. I didn't care. I didn't want it. The Shark. Godly. Only reason, Sky. No need to say anything more. If you guys know Sky from Chapter 2 Season 2, you know exactly why that's the best place to go. Moving on. The Agency. I know, very controversial opinions, but listen, hear me out. The reason why? Everyone and their mother had to go here because of Midas, because of Midas, because of Midas' drum gun, and because of Midas' drum gun. That's the only reasons why people would go there. Don't tell me there was another reason why you went there. I don't want to hear it. You know the whole reason you went there was just so you could get Midas' drum gun. And yes, I know the Agency and the other, whatever it was called before, after, they're like the same place, okay? Agency, the Authority, it's all the exact same reason. There's no point. Next, the Yacht. Amazing. It's small. Meowscles went there. Deadpool took it over. I'm going to count that as the same thing. And then he moved the boat because he felt like it. It was very much towards the corner. It gave the same feel of Junk Junction to me, where like it was very off to the side. Unless the bus directly went over top of it, no one would go there. It was really fun. Craggy Cliffs. Craggy Cliffs is okay. And the reason why Craggy Cliffs is okay is because it has a lot of potential, especially now with the NPCs being there, but if I'm talking about it in general, it's kind of just like, it feels just like another town that has a little bit of a theme going for it, but it's not special to me. I don't like it, and tryhards go there. And when I say tryhards, keep in mind, guys, I'm not amazing in Fortnite. I play Fortnite casually. I am good occasionally, but if I die several times in a row without getting to enjoy a location, or how it looks, or how it feels, or how it plays, then I'm not going to be happy with it, and that's simply my own opinion. You guys can have different opinions. I understand that. Next up is Steamy Stacks. Steamy Stacks, I'm just going to put it, I don't know. I'm going to put it at great, simply because of its ability that you can glide around. It was made by, like, it's Kevolution energy, you know. You can use it to go from one side of the map, not one side of the map, the other. But, you know, you can go in if a zone is closing in. It's its own thing. It's different. Not a lot of people go there often, but it's weird. Dirty Docks. I'm going to put Dirty Docks at okay. Dirty Docks isn't bad. Same reason as sort of Craggy, where it's a themed place, but tryhards ruin it because they always drop ahead of you and kill you, and you don't get to enjoy it. But when you do get to enjoy it, it's a fun little place to drop. The Grotto. Before, after. If we're talking about it after, you guys know it you can't even go to it anymore. But if we're talking about the Grotto, when it was Brutus and stuff, I'm going to put it at great. The Grotto was great. It was fun. It played so much differently because you had different routes you could take to get to. You go in from above. You go in from the little side passageway. You go in from the main entrance on the side. You go in through the little skull head face. It was so much fun. I liked it. And I'm sad it's still flooded. Sweaty Sands. Literally just the name. They made this place just to feel like Tilted Towers, except worse, because they're like, we want everyone to sweat here. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. I don't like you. No other reason for it. I just hate it. Weeping Woods. Now, you would think I would give this place the same treatment as I did with the original Wailing Woods. I'm going to put it at great. I think Weeping Woods is great simply because it's a lot bigger. It has a lot more houses to loot. It has a lot more, like, it has a zipline theme. It has still the water, the fishing. It's its own, it's kind of like what I'd imagine they wanted, not Snobby Shores, where is it? It's like how I would imagine they wanted Wailing Woods and, I can't think of it now. I can't even find it where I put it. Lonely Lodge. Wailing Woods and Lonely Lodge is what it feels like they turned Weeping into. Like, combination of both, and it's so much better. Tomato Town, godly. Without even thinking about it, even though it's a super tiny location, the original Tomato Town was the best place to ever land. You had the little tunnel, the tunnel that went through the mountain. That I'm counting as part of this because that's what they wanted you to do there. Before it turned into Tomato Temple, I loved it so much. I didn't like Tomato Temple at all. I know some people love Tomato Temple, but Tomato Town to me was always OG. I loved landing there. I would always try to land there. It was so much fun. Slurpy Swamps, I'm going to put it great. Slurpy Swamps is also great because it literally is a healing factor. You can land there and sort of like, it's sort of an all-arounder location. You don't always get like terrible people there. You don't always get people just shooting you off the top. You can decide where to land. It's a pretty big facility. Again, it kind of reminds me of Flush Factory, but not entirely. And it's its own thing. The Rig. Now, I'm going to count the Rig before it started getting destroyed and after it started getting destroyed. And for that reason, I'm going to put it at amazing. Again, it's off the side. It's its own thing. You might notice a pattern here that I like locations that aren't in the center of the map because it doesn't draw that much attention and it's still fun to go there and fight people. Any location that gets 50 players is never fun for me. And that's just me personally. The Rig is fun because you get to go there, experience the whole Tiantina thing with all the different explosion barrels everywhere. Her weapon is the only like bow in the game. So that was really fun. And you got to get the helipad. There was a helicopter here at one point too, right? Yeah. And you could use that to go over to like Slurpee or wherever. But it was still in the middle of the ocean. This location still exists in currently Chapter 2, Season 5. Just nothing is there. Like, you can still get llamas and supply crates in the middle of the ocean there. That's why the zone sometimes can go there too. But there's currently no location there, which I imagine they will fix soon. Lazy Lake. I'm going to put it at Same reason as Sweaty. They made this place as if they wanted it to act like Tilted Towers and they wanted you to go here just to fight. It has the exact same building from Paradise Palms, I think. I heard something about that where it's like the exact same building, just copy and paste it into Lazy. I don't like it. I never did. I like the aspect of fishing there, but I'm still a meh with it because I never drop here unless I absolutely have to. Retail Row. OG Retail Row. I'm going to put it okay. Retail Row, again, is a tryhard location, but if we're talking about the OG one, it was still better to go there than some of the other locations because it had a lot of loot and you had a lot of variety to pick from. Salty Springs is because now or never they treat Salty Springs as if it's like a plague. You literally get... The whole reason they combined Tilted with Salty was to make it feel different. Because Salty is just 4 to 5 houses, 4 to 5 chests, because it's 50% chest loot. And if, for some reason, everyone likes going there because of that reason, while they hate Tomato Town for the same reason. I don't get it. But anyway, Salty, I don't like it. Wailing Woods, I thought I threw this somewhere, but I guess I didn't. Wailing Woods, I'm putting at, like I said, same reason I did Lonely and the Swamp, because it's just bad. This is the OG Swamp, not Slurpy Swamp. Slurpy Swamp's up here. But yeah, that is my tier ranking of all the POIs from Fortnite Season 1 all the way to Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 5. It actually isn't Season 5 now that I think about it, because it doesn't have like the newest locations. It has like up to, I think, Chapter 2 Season 3-ish. I'm not sure. But that was my ranking. If you guys want me to do a more updated version, like I said, I just downloaded this from the person. You can follow them on Twitter. The Twitter link's down below. I think he's the one that made this. If you go into Tier Maker, you can just find these. But if you guys know of a better one that you would like me to do another video on this, or if you'd like me to rank other things in Fortnite, maybe like, I don't know, like guns or events themselves or something, I can do that for fun. I just wanted to do this today because I've been holding this off for a while and I wanted to make a video on this because I thought it'd be a fun thing to do. And yeah, but that is going to do for this video. If you guys did enjoy, definitely smash the like button, show your support, subscribe if you are new. And like I said, comment down below if you guys want to see more of this or if you were just happy with this being a one-off video. Either way, thank you all so much. Have a great day. Stay safe. Goodbye.